The Forgotten Carnival. Ellie and her friends were road tripping across the country, their car packed with snacks and supplies. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, they found themselves on a lonely road winding through dense woods. The GPS signal was weak, and their destination, a small motel, seemed further than expected. "Let's take this exit," Ellie suggested, spotting a faded sign that read, "Hollow Creek next left." They turned, hoping to find a shortcut, or at least some signs of civilization. The road grew narrower, and the trees loomed taller, casting long, skeletal shadows. Just as they were about to turn back, they saw it, bright lights flickering in the distance. "A carnival?" Matt, her boyfriend, asked incredulously. Indeed, there it was, a sprawling carnival ground, alive with color and sound. A massive Ferris wheel spun lazily, and cheerful music floated on the cool night air. The marquee above the entrance read, "Welcome to Hollow Creek Carnival." "Looks fun," Ellie said, her curiosity piqued. "Let's check it out." The group parked and approached the gates. The air smelled of popcorn and cotton candy, but the ticket booth was empty. Still, the gates swung open as if inviting them in. The carnival was bustling, yet something was off. The workers had strange, almost mannequin-like faces, their smiles too wide, their movements unnaturally smooth. The other patrons didn't look much better, pale, silent, and dressed in old-fashioned clothing, as if they'd stepped out of another era. "Creepy," muttered Sarah, Ellie's best friend. "Maybe we should leave." But Ellie was already pulling Matt toward a carousel. The horses seemed almost lifelike, their glassy eyes gleaming in the carnival lights. Reluctantly, the others followed, boarding various rides. As the night wore on, Ellie noticed something unsettling. The other patrons never left the rides. They just kept going, round and round, their blank faces unchanging. "I don't like this," Sarah whispered. Matt laughed nervously. "It's just old-timey, probably some retro theme." But then they saw it, a man stumbling toward them, his face contorted in terror. He wore a faded carnival uniform, his hat askew. "Leave," he gasped, "before it's too late." Before they could respond, two workers appeared out of nowhere, their mannequin smiles fixed. They grabbed the man, dragging him away despite his screams. "Okay, I'm done," Sarah said, her voice shaking. "Let's get out of here." But the exit gates were gone. In their place stood an unbroken fence too high to climb. "What the hell?" Matt muttered, panic creeping into his voice. The carnival seemed to shift, the colors dimming, the music distorting into a haunting melody. The workers turned to face them, their smiles impossibly wide. "Stay and play," one of them said, their voice hollow and metallic. The group ran, weaving through the labyrinthine grounds. Rides twisted and warped as they passed, the once festive lights now flickering ominously. Ellie led them to what looked like a funhouse. "In here!" she cried. Inside, the mirrors reflected warped versions of themselves, elongated faces, sunken eyes, twisted grins. The reflections began to move on their own, stepping out of the mirrors. One by one, they were separated. Ellie ran until her legs gave out, finding herself back at the Ferris wheel. "Help me!" she screamed, but the workers just smiled. The last thing she saw was her own reflection in the glass of the Ferris wheel's gondola, her face pale, her eyes hollow, her smile stretching unnaturally wide. The next morning, the car was found on the side of the road, empty. The group was never seen again, but sometimes travelers passing through Hollow Creek swear they hear faint carnival music drifting through the woods.